record on the computer. Cool, cool, cool. Welcome everybody. Whether you're here live and in person, sort of live on Zoom, or not. A couple things we need to talk about over the winter break. The testing center is closed. Testing center runs just like every other Pasco County facility. They do, however, are able to work over the summer, but that doesn't really matter because we're talking about the winter. Okay. So you guys will have access to that this week, the end of this week, the next week, and then the following week. There are plenty of spaces open right now because of at least to do your different tests, but they're going to start disappearing. Okay. We will have new federal administration the 20th or the 21st of January. We don't know what that looks like in regards to federal mandates. Theoretically, like I had said a little bit earlier, president can't tell a governor to shut down his or her state. And it looks like our governor, if you've seen anything recently, our governor is very much wanting the state to stay open in regards to schools. But I want you to, if you have a passing or a likely to pass section on my GED or on the practice test, and some of you do, or if some of you want to start taking those and then start taking the real deals, let's get that done and let's get those test sessions started. Okay, that would be very, very important for you to try and go ahead and do that. All right, let's look real quick. I want to do a couple of things. I'm going to share screen. We are on Zoom. You can see this, right? Holler at me if you can.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this is the GED application. Those of you who know you're going to want to take classes second semester, you will have to pay again. Wah, wah, wah. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. You'll have to pay again. To make or to expedite or make this easier, you do not, okay? Do not have to do an application. Do not do another application. There is no quote unquote spring application. What you will simply do is go to admissions, right? You can see this, you all can see this, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're on Marchman, you're on the MTC website, Marchman Technical College website. You're under admissions, you're going to GED admissions. Oops, I clicked admissions like a dumb. Give it a second. You can see our internet super fast here at school. Going to GED admissions process. You're going to, again, these are the 3 steps that you would have followed, but you want to go to apply for GED classes. When you do that, those 3 steps are there again, which you can do, but you don't need to take test. If any of you want practice, you may post tape and just get with me, stay after, email me, call me, whatever you want to do. And I'll set you up with a post tape time, and you can do that during the day or in the evening, one Tuesday, Thursday. Tuesday, Thursday, our testing facility is here from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We love it, 12-hour day. It's phenomenal. I'm here till 10:30, which is fun. But we need you to make a payment again, okay? So so do not submit payment until the application tape test is done. You've already done this. This is to start night classes again, second semester. So you're not going to be able to just pop into classes. I'm going to have a list of students who've paid and students who've not paid. And I'll admit, Daniel just popped in. Let me get his name down. Let me stop sharing real quick. Oh, so Damien, you're here. welcome, welcome. We are going over, and I'm going to screen share just real quick, the way you're going to be admitted again. So you're going to go to admissions on our website, go to GED application process. Like I said, you're going to apply for GED classes. And then you're going to go down here, put your name in, okay, and then your last name, and then your phone number, and then you're going to make a payment, and it's going to ask you to process the $31.20. The $1.20, I think, is taxes or the credit card fee or something like that. You're going to put all this information. I will be emailed that information, and then we can we'll simply lay that receipt on our data entry person's our data entry, and she'll put you in my classes again. Okay, so I don't want you to have a lapse in time. I don't want you to have any time frame where you're not paid, okay, for starting semester 2. Some of you who have 2 or 3 done and you think you're going to be done this semester, you might think about paying for it at another time. But those of you who have the money now, we are emphasizing that you go ahead and pay for tuition ASAP, so we can have you in classes on Thursday. Let me tell you how classes will work. So January is weird. So January 1st, that's New Year's Day. That's a holiday. We get the Monday the 4th off as a holiday, so we get an extra day off for that. The 5th is teacher planning day. The 6th is the first day for school. That's a Wednesday. You wouldn't have school anyway. So your first day will be the 7th, and that will start from 5. I think we're going to extend, and I don't want to make any promises, but we're going to have 1.5-hour sessions in English, Science, and Social Studies, and 1.5-hour sessions in math. We're going to get that approved by the director probably within this week. So you'll have even more time and more fun with yours truly and Mr. Moschner or Mr. Butler, depending on what math class you have. So you'll start the 7th. We want you to start the 7th. And the easiest way to do that is get paid, okay? Or do that payment, like I said. I'm gonna share screen real quick with those of you who may have not seen this the other day, because I know some new people are on here. I'm going to go to the GED website. That's the manager. I'm going to the regular student login, please. Let's go to student login. My GED login. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to go in there. Again, if you have not got involved with this, please, 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 please get going on this. You really want to become familiar with this website, utilize the free information, as well as set your practice tests up and set your regular tests up. Right? Super fun stuff, right? Everybody's having a blast. Sorry, this is taking so long. The loading is ridiculous. All right, so that's the manager. I don't want the manager. I want the student login. Where's my student login? Come on. Okay, so I'm logging in really quick. And that's not the one I want. We are going with, I would never remember all these things. My HAT. All right, so student login. Come on, what the heck is the deal here? All right, so going to go to, you can look at home. These are like little practice tips, practice studying tips. Going to go to study and then find GED classes. You're already in them. Practice, that's the practice test, okay? Then you have study materials, things like that. They're giving you a 12% discount, but they don't know about this discount. I'll show you real quick. I'm going to buy all 4 of these right now. I'm not actually going to buy them. I'll just show you how that works. So you create your login, then you have a coupon code. I want you to screenshot this or email me 5050 OFF, right? Okay, you guys see that? I'm applying that. I'm now taking all 4 sections of the practice test, GED Ready, for $10.49. How do you like that? Mr. Turner is saving you money. Do you love that? I hope you do. Go ahead and do that. Take all 4 sections, see where you're at. If you bomb the heck out of it, it really doesn't matter. You only spent less than 11 bucks. If you start seeing the likely to pass like Miss Zimmerman or Marianne has done, awesome. Go schedule the regular test, crank this stuff out, okay? Let's go. We're stopping sharing. We got about 20, 25 minutes. We want to share where we left off the other day, and I will send you links tonight, either that or tomorrow morning, of this college and career ready document that we've been going. So I want your help on this, if you would. So we looked at this. This is another document that will help you, or another study material that will help you. This is specifically in civics and government. I have another one in science, and I have another one geography, and I think life science, and then bioscience. No, that would be life science, physical science, I think, as well. College and career readiness. It's a practice book, very short, to the point, very good practice. You have your 9 lessons. One is Foundations, Principle of American Democracy, comparing foundational U.S. documents, structure of the government, changes in U.S. Constitution, political parties, interest groups, political speeches, the living Constitution, public policy, civic engagement. It's only 35 pages long. I'm going to give you the exact, I'm going to give you a copy of this. You can print it or do this digitally like I am if you have your access. Why do we look at this section of college and career readiness, but with civics and government? Because a huge chunk of the GED is American government and American civics, how we do local, state, and national government, how those different sections work with each other, as well as the different branches, founding documents that we've looked at, things like that. So we went through this, we read some of these. This was the foundational principles, American democracy, looked at main idea details, looked at this second treatise of civil government by John Locke, who was a writer that we base a lot of our government off of. Then we got some answers here. There was a section where you can write a small summary. Then we looked at practice skills of, this is a visual of main idea, details supporting those main ideas. We then looked at a section from the Declaration of Independence, and we found out the main idea. There was a section for looking at 2 key details. We looked at that. At the very end, I'll flip it all to the end. You have all the answers. What kind of a teacher gives you all the answers? Someone that wants you to understand what's going on here. This is so you can check yourself, okay, before you wreck yourself. So we looked at this section over here about all the answers. So go back, utilize that information. Nothing is wrong with that. I've never said you shouldn't do that. That's why I provide that for you. Then we looked at this, the Declaration of Independence. Look at the main idea. Then we look at foundational principles, American document, democracy. We continued to look at vocabulary, the tone of historical documents, that they're longer. There's multiple phrases. We split those phrases into different sections as if they're by themselves to understand them as we break those. We call that chunking. Another weird way of saying it is like, how do you eat an elephant? You shouldn't eat an elephant because they're in danger, but you would eat an elephant one bite at a time. How do you eat this elephant? How do you read this section that's very difficult by Thomas Jefferson? Not super easy to read. You have to have it one little section at a time. So you're breaking phrases up. And those phrases are, what are the words? What are the information in between different commas? Okay, answered a couple of questions there, and there's a short answer for you to do by yourself. Okay, we are now continuing and looking at the preamble of the Constitution, okay? So as you read, and we'll continue this together, if somebody wants to read that, that would be awesome too. Do I have any lovely volunteers? We only have 9 of us today, or 10. I see all those hands, digital hands wanting to read. Anyone?
A constitution is a written plan of government.
Very
The
good. Thank
I'm sorry.
I said very good. Thank you.
The Constitution of the United States sets forth the fundamental laws of the country. As its preamble or introduction is one of the most well-known pieces of writing in history. Preamble does not state any laws, but it is important because it gives the purpose behind the Constitution. It states why the leaders of the country wrote the Constitution and what they hoped it would help them achieve. Although short, the preamble has a very clear main idea and
All right, so let's look at the regular preamble, okay? You've heard this before. You've probably, I hope you've heard it before. We, the people of the United States, okay? So I'm talking about us. In order to form a more perfect union, right? So we want to be united, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, okay? Provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, people coming after us, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. We looked at prefixes, right? The preamble means the section of a document before the document gets to what it's going to. So this is the pre-part of the Constitution. If you're, I don't know, just reading a random book, okay? The beginning of it is called the preface, all right? Pre means before. So this is written right before the regular Constitution, okay? So from your prior knowledge, we're gonna think about our prior knowledge, and in the context here, what might the framers of the Constitution have meant by a more perfect union? And we're gonna look at our best answer here. Is the more perfect union A, better working conditions for farm and factory workers? That seems very specific. Is it B, everyone in the country working together better than before? A better way for the government to work and for the states to work together? That's possible. Or a country that has laws everyone can agree on?
C.
So somebody said B. I think that D is not a good answer. I think that A is not a good answer. So it's going to be between B and C. Everyone in the country working together better than before. So we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, a better way of government to work and for the states to work together. Okay, so let's look. We're literally going to go back and it's not cheating. We're going to see what we're going to get here.
Mr. Tony, I think it's C.
You think it's C. So let us analyze. We've been able to break it down. So number 12 is C, a better way for the government to work. That is tricky because B sounds good too. The Constitution is a plan for how government works, okay? This is the only choice that mentions the government. That's very true. They tried to slip you up, and they even slipped me up, as you can see, because I really thought it was B too. Where are we? Too far. Okay. Yes, I think that our best answer, because it does include, and we just saw that includes government, is that C is our best answer. B, is everyone in the country working together better than before? It's sort of true, but you're doing that through government, okay? Now, we are looking here. The preamble provides the blank for the writing of the Constitution. Provides the blank. What word could we put in there? What would it provide? The preamble provides the, what did I do? Close. Sign it. What does the preamble do? Let's see what the answer is at the end. because this sounds like they're looking for something very specific. All right, answers will vary. Possible answers are reasons, explanations, or purpose in order to signals that the reasons will be stated, okay? So it's the preface is another word for it, or the beginning telling why they're writing about the why there is a constitution. I could put the why. Okay, we call what we use that phrase, the why. Okay, the why for writing the Constitution of the United States. In the main idea of this what is the main idea of this excerpt? What do you guys think? The preamble. I think we use 13 for that. What do you guys think? Anybody?
Yeah, so.
So I would say you could say that why, I can write why the Constitution is being written and the purposes. Now, next one, let's look. How does the main idea of the preamble introduce the Constitution, and what do you think, what's it say? What do you think the founder, or why do you think the founders wrote the preamble? So we need to think outside the box here. How does the main idea of the preamble introduce the Constitution? I think that it states the preamble
As we the
states
people.
the reasons for the Constitution, if I can spell, for the reasons for the Constitution. Now, why do you think these founding fathers wrote the preamble?
For us to be in a perfect union as we the people of the United States.
They wanted us to be, how about I use the word unified?
Yeah.
Unified and to express I can spell. Okay, so that's pretty good. Okay, and then it wants you to think about the plot and key scenes in a book you would, like a movie, enjoyed, summarize. Okay, we're not going to do that. Summarizing information. Let's look at that. So summarizing information is key. So every time you have a conversation with someone without realizing it, you're either summarizing information or identifying someone's main idea. So how do I go back to highlighting again? I want to not. So let's close this. Okay, now I can highlight. I would like to change the color, but that's not happening. Every time you have a conversation with someone without realizing it, you are either summarizing the information. Okay. Why is that doing that? Highlight. Okay. You're either summarizing the information or you're identifying someone's main idea and most important details. You may summarize information about a project or task you just completed, or the plot of a book or a movie. You even summarize events of your day. Summarizing is necessary because you cannot relate every single thing you did or tell someone every detail in a book. When you have a conversation, you need to be able to communicate only the most important details. That was not good. Let's delete that. I can highlight. Most important details in an understandable way. It's kind of key, is that your summaries of things should be understandable. It's asking you to describe a time when you summarize something for a coworker, friend, family member. How are you able to communicate that information? What important events did you include? Why did you omit? What did you omit and why? Okay. Yeah. So like if you're talking to your parents, your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, whatever, about your day and how work went, you probably don't need to tell them the play-by-play of you using the restroom. Okay. It was part of your day, right? And I'm not trying to be super funny, but it's a detail we kind of, why did you omit that? It's not important. I might say how lunch was. I might say how we had a student cuss me out today and it was super fun and a little aggressive, but keeps you on your toes. Why did I talk about one thing versus another thing? Okay. So let's look, and we'll start this section, and we may only get a little bit into it, which is fine. Historical texts often use words that are specific to a time period or topic. These are words that you may not know. So we're going to talk about context clues. So it's using our grammatical stuff that we use on IXL and things like that to deal with social studies science. You might not be familiar with some of these words, okay? You won't, okay? Especially these documents that are historical, like written from that like Old English, Middle English, whatever it is. When you come across unknown words, look for context clues. We've talked about context clues. We have a lesson on context clues. We love context clues. They are words in the same sentence or in the nearby sentences that provide hints, okay? And help you determine the meaning of a word, all right? Examples of context clues include restatements, examples, explanations, synonyms or words that are the same, antonyms or words that are opposite. As you read, think about how words and ideas relate to each other and to the document. Recognizing relationships among ideas will help you understand the document better, okay? The Articles of Confederation was the first document, okay, written by the founders of the United States to establish a central government, okay? It served as the foundation of government from if you didn't know, I'm a little dyslexic, so I mixed the numbers around. 1781 until 1789. Delegates from every state except Rhode Island met in Philly, okay, in Philadelphia in 1787 to revise the Articles of Confederation. They soon decided, however, to replace it entirely. The United States Constitution was ratified 1 year later. That's huge. The Constitution created a stronger central government, defined government powers, and provided protection of individual rights, okay? So it was even more specific than these Articles of Confederation. So Articles of Confederation are like your rough draft of government. And then we're like, okay, we're founding fathers, we're sitting here, this isn't really working out the best we want it to, so we're going to make a constitution, and it's going to define the central government, a stronger central government, define government powers, and provide protection for individual civil, usually what we call civil rights, okay? The United States in Congress assembled shall have authority to appoint a committee to sit in the recess of Congress, okay, to be denominated. We don't use that like that anymore, but a committee of the states, and to consist of one delegate from each state, okay, and to appoint such other committees as civil officers as may be necessary for managed general affairs of the United States under their direction, to appoint one of their number of one of their number to preside provided that no person be allowed to serve in the office of president more than 1 year in any term, 1 year in any term of 3 years, to ascertain the necessary sum of money to be raised for the service of the United States, and to appropriate and apply the same defraying the public expenses, to borrow money or emit bills on the credit of the United States, transmitting every half year to the respective states an account of the sums of money so borrowed or emitted, to build and equip a navy, to provide, to agree upon a number of land forces, and to make requisites from each state its quota in proportion to the number of white inhabitants in such states, which requisition shall be binding. So this is a fairly short paragraph, and I have 3 degrees and one's in a different language, and I'm not a dum-dum, and this is not easy to read, is it? Okay, so I hope you can see that these are written by, at that time, probably lawyers with that verbiage at that time. Okay, so which of the following words is closest to the meaning of denominated? So what we're going to do is use this sentence, and we will switch these words out, substitute. Okay, so the United States and Congress assembled shall have authority to appoint a committee to sit in recess of Congress, to be denominated, to be arranged, managed, required, named. Which do you guys think?
What was the question?
It says, which of the following words is closest to the meaning denominated?
Probably
It's a tough one.
named.
Yes, I think it's going to be named. It's going to be named, I believe, but we're going to go check it out and see the reasons why. Let me just chuck down here to the end. Answer key, you're my friend. Where is it? Am I missing it? Impeachment. Nope. Section 1 describes executive power. Nope. Answers will vary with details. Which one is it? All right, so what page was this one? Much easier to flip. If we were in class, you would all have a copy of this. Oh, it's example question, okay? Number 1. Is it not? Oh, it's, the answer should be in that example, All right. There we go. So it says D, okay? Option D for the correct answer. All right, steps to the solution. Find the word denominated and reread the sentence before and after we did that, denominated. And then this is kind of a hint too, is that there's quotes, a committee of the states. So that's actually the name of it. Look at the words before denominated, who or what is being denominated. It's this group of people that is assembled, okay? Congress is assembled to appoint a committee, all right? Look at the words denominated. What happens when someone gets denominated? Consider the answers, replace denominated with each one. We did that, okay? And you are looking at that as the right answer. So now we're locating the word emit, okay? Emit bills, and then emitted. Locate the word emit in the passage, write 2 phrases that use the context clues, tell what emit means. So we're looking at this emit that says, how far back are we going? Office of the president at 1 year, any term of 3 years, to ascertain the necessary sums of money and expenses to borrow money or emit bills. get rid of bills maybe. And let's look at this one. Year of the representative states that count the sums of money so borrowed or emitted. Okay. So look at the words before and after the word emit. The word emit is used in the sentences to borrow, emit. So it's used as an antonym. Emit bills on credit in the United States that count a sum of money so borrowed or emitted. The word or after borrowed tells that the emit and borrow have opposite meaning. So if you borrow money, you pay that money. So if you emit, it is the opposite. You're not borrowing. Okay. So correct answer here is context to borrow money and transmitting. Okay. So what time are we at? 53. Oh crap. So we got to get you ready. This is why we're probably going to extend classes come the new year. So questions, comments for me. I hope you guys within this next, really as soon as possible, if you can pay for next semester, we'll get that going and we'll really annoy the data entry clerk and see how much work we can get her to do. It's super fun. It's a joke, guys. I actually am doing that work. But yeah, so what I'll like to do is I am going to, in the next 2 to 3 classes, because we only have next week and then the following week, so that's 4 classes. We'll review some of the other versions of this social studies one that we're looking at. One's going to be geography. I want to give you copies of that, so you'll have and I'm not going to take you off of anything over the winter break. I know you're not going to spend a lot of time doing that per se, but if you do have extra time and you're off or you have weekend time or nighttime, I'm going to keep you on Newsela. I'm going to keep you on IXL. I'm not going to drop anybody until the 6th of January. So that's a 2.5 extra weeks for you to have access to whatever study material that we provide you currently, okay? And I'll give you digital copies of these items as well. So we have 6 minutes before you have to get ready for math, okay? So in that time, I will definitely say prayers for you, but if you have questions, comments, stay on. If not, log yourself off, get ready for math, get a coffee or a drink or something, whatever you're gonna get, and get set up for math, okay?
Great, thank you.
It
All
is.
right, my friend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Adios, amigos.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right, good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Question.
Yeah.
Do you think a 146 is good enough to just take the test?
So this is just, I'll try to explain it. So each student is different. If I scored a 146 and I had the $32 and it was a subject that I'm fairly comfortable with, I would just go for it. I would. Some students want to get into the 150s on the practice test, so they have a buffer. It really depends your personality. It depends whether you have a big fear of the test to begin with. A 146 does say likely to pass. It is
Yeah.
only likely to pass by 2 points.
Mhm.
But I'm a gambler. So
Yeah.
instead of, I would give it a shot if I were you. That's what I would do, because
Okay.
I'm looking at a test that I've scored decently well on, that I know if I put the effort in and if I try my best, I would like to have the same, if not a better result. Some students are bugging themselves out. They're not good test takers. They can't calm themselves down during a test, and they might need that buffer of 5 or 10 points. I look at it as like, if it tells me I'm gonna likely to pass, then heck, I'll do it again. The one thing that I know is that because you scored likely to pass on your practice test,
Mhm.
if you bomb it, let's say you get a 140
Mhm.
and you want to retake it again, your retake cost is only $12.50.
Oh, okay.
So you're not going to spend another 32 again. You're going to spend $12.50. Okay. So that's basically GED's way of saying, like, you kicked butt on this test, it's likely to pass. Something went wrong. We want to give you another chance for $12.50.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know my other 3 tests, I got I scored like a 154 to 156 on the practice, and I only went down like 1 or 2 points on the actual test.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because you got to play around with like, okay, in a testing situation, you're definitely higher beats per minute, you're higher blood pressure, you're kind of wigging out a little bit, and how can you control that? It's kind of up to the individual student. Some students know exactly, I've got to get a 150 or 155 before I even attempt it, and that's up to them. Nothing's wrong with that. Again, I'm a gambler. I'm gonna just, I would do it.
I'm probably just gonna go ahead and do it.
Sounds good to me. I think that's a smart choice.
Yeah. I'm putting it out in the universe. Let me pass.
Put it out. We got the good vibes. We're gonna breathe it out. Everybody's gonna be happy. Okay. Definitely good thoughts, good vibes. All right.
Yes.
All right, my friends. I'm gonna cut it off because you got 2 minutes before you have to go see Butler and Moschner. Okay.
I
See you,
don't.
Marsh.
I'm done with them.
Oh, you're what?
I'm done with math.
Oh, so you're done with math. So
Yeah, I only have language. That's
it.
my last test. Yes.
So I would go look at those. How do you feel about the essay?
I feel pretty confident.
Okay. Have you done any of the practice stuff that I sent you guys?
Not really. I've done a little bit, but I need to do more.
Yeah, maybe sit down, do a couple of those, get a little more familiar with that, because that's going to give you actual buff, a little bit of a better buffer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right, my friends. I'll see ya.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
See you, bud.